When we talk about the various things that people are looking for, let's talk about the pinch. Let's talk about the ouch first. And I think what I'm most intrigued about hearing from you is, what do you find is the biggest time-consuming activity that a company like yours is able to remove from people's lives and allow them to focus on the things that they're really good at? What's the biggest time gobbler that you see?
Well, I mean, this is really about the person, because one time gobbler for one person is not the time gobbler for another person. It really has to do with your personality, what you're good at, what you like doing. And so that's where we always start. I start with a paid consult where I have the potential client break down everything that they do daily, weekly, and monthly. I have them rank it. Once you rank those and you really get an understanding of what you are good at doing, what you like doing, and the amount of time that it's taking you, that is also very important. You don't want to do the activity, so you're going to do anything and everything besides doing what you should be doing. That just became your time gobble.
Ooh, we've all been there.
Yes,
with certain activities, right, Glenn?
Yes,
certain
100%.
things.
I just had a conversation 15 minutes ago with another good friend of mine that's been one of our guests before, the same type of thing. Why does this take so long? And we kind of ran through everything. He's like, well, that's why I hate this. Well, that's why you have someone else do it for you.
Yep.
I have two questions. So just for the average person that's watching this that may not know, would you explain what a VA is?
So VA stands for virtual assistant. I think the easiest way to explain it is what you imagine a secretary did in an office, at the front end of an office 25 years ago. What does that person do? They handle the itinerary of the person they work for. They handle incoming and outbound calls. A lot of times they're doing newsletters and headers and proposals. They're doing flyers that used to go out in the mail. So that type of work is what we do. The only exception that we don't do is we do not create a full-time answering service. We will not answer your call 24 hours a day. That's a different service than what we provide.
When you engage with a client, what sort of questions do you ask? What sort of things what sort of due diligence do you do to get a really well-rounded impression of what the company is and where the company or the business wants to go?
Yes. So most of our clients take about 1 month to onboard. We are spending a lot of time understanding what the client needs. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, Paul, you hire us for two purposes. You want us to start doing your email management every day, getting in there and organizing it. And two, you want us to start writing a newsletter for you on a monthly basis. So the first part of that call, we're going to really dive into your email. I'm going to watch you go through your email. I'm going to notice, what are you responding to? What's still unread? How can we create folders or filters to manage those items? Are there any templates that we can create to streamline your process? Are you writing the same things over and over and over again to the same people? Can I streamline that for you? So that would be the first part of that consult. And then the second part of that consult, I would have Tatum come on. We would actually create a marketing calendar for you. We'd think about themes. What can we talk about? What corresponds with your brand that you want to talk about in June? And then when we talk about fall, we'll be talking about, what are you doing to change for the season? What does that look like for you? Does that mean more travel? Does that mean, your yearly clean out of your household? I don't know. So, that's what we talk about on those strategy calls.
That the biggest obstacle most people have to encounter is 6 inches between their ears. If you can get away from those things and do the things you enjoy, you're going to be more successful. So it's the same type of thing. It's literally taking and saying, okay, I do this, and having a little bit of maybe a come to Jesus meeting with yourself and realize that I've done this for years because I didn't trust someone to do it. I really don't like doing it. So if I can train someone on how to do this, I can get back to doing what I do well and what I can really help take my company from level A to B to C and above.
When it comes to taking over that responsibility, do you think it's more important to have a quantity of follow-up? In other words, the appropriate follow-up, or is it the personal quality that has to go into it? I realize ideally you have both. But do you think most people, because most people can write a personal message on something that moves them, that resonates with them, of course. But do you feel that the proper follow-up is often where people falter when it comes to networking?
Okay, so this is two parts. I just want to bounce off one thing that Glenn just said, though. It's not just what you don't like doing. It's also admitting what you're really bad at doing. People have a very hard time with that, right? Yep. They're like,
oh, yes.
Oh, I'm good at everything. Actually, no, you're not.
I think I'm going to need to talk to you later.
But going into the secondary, which is the networking, and I've said this too, I know this about my business, and I know it's the truth for many other types of businesses, not all businesses, but I personally do not expect that I'm ever going to get a client from my social media presence. They're not going to see something on my Instagram and be like, oh, I'm going to call MerriLyn up and become a client. Not going to work that way in my business. And it's really because what you said, we are handling people's personal items. We're writing copy to reflect their brand. So there has to be a very strong level of trust before we gain that clientele.